are 2 games that we need to just win those 2 games. If any, or even one draw, we are out of that World Cup qualification. So it's going to be interesting what the Super Eagles will perform. I think it's on Saturday. I think that game is on Saturday. So we're going to talk about some of them when their time is arrives. Good morning, John. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Good morning, super fans and football maniacs out there. Thank you for joining us, and it promises to be another exciting show today.
Good morning, also.
Good morning, Godwin. Good morning, super fans. Interesting show, interesting weekend. What am I saying now? I said interesting weekend. Interesting transfer market because I had some players who could have stayed but has gone to. I think the new retirement home for football is the Italian Serie A because every player they've gotten this summer is above the 35 or 31 year mark.
Okay, we're going to talk about some of these transfers. But first, let's talk about Iheanacho. You know, he came back after his loan spell with Middlesbrough. He came back to Sevilla. They released him. So as I'm talking to you, he has signed for Celtic. He's going to play his next career in Scotland. Good move for Iheanacho.
Yeah, it's a good move because we want to see one of our best products out of this country doing well. Yes, doing well in Europe. There's no need for him to come back to MPFL and start slumming it out here.
But he go Saudi now. Let
him just go
waiting to China. Even in Saudi no call, waiting to China.
The Scottish League is a good one.
It's a good
playing
league,
for Celtics, and it's a good move for me.
Playing for Rogers too.
Brendan Rodgers, you can win the Scottish Premiership. You can have a stint in Europe. Why not? If not,
I think for me, I just say it's the manager who trusted him in the Leicester side. Even at some point, Brendan Rodgers gave him the starting bet and put Vardy on the bench. At some point during that time, during his stint at Leicester City, but I feel like, bros, like Tony Cruz always say, leave the game before the game leaves you. He's gone on different injury spells that he's not recovered fully from. And after he left Leicester City, he's not been himself since then. He's always been like and I feel like when he went to Sevilla, I felt like, okay, fine. Sevilla is going to be this time of the year where you're going to regain yourself, and all of a sudden Sevilla put him on the bench with seat belts on and sent him on loan. That loan spell to Middlesbrough, I felt like, okay, I still thought to myself, if you conquer in Middlesbrough, because now your Sevilla is watching, Middlesbrough is watching, and other teams are also watching. If you conquer in Middlesbrough, you go for Sevilla, they'll look for how to sell you off for a big fee, and it didn't work out for him that much at Middlesbrough, and here we are again, coming back from the loan spell and your contract being terminated.
When you go out on loan,
disappointing.
When you go out on loan, it's a tricky situation because if you go to a club that doesn't really need the reinforcement, or you go to a club at the time where the star man is in form, red hot form, you're not going to even get the coach's ear to like say, okay, give me chance to play, I want to play or stuff like that. You going out on loan is always tricky. So that's why even going to a club where that are struggling is also tricky too, especially because you never can tell what are the things that are going to be at play in deciding how much minutes you get and stuff like that. So especially for a striker who is in his 28 years or late 20s, you cannot go to a team and command game time.
And
normally
it's supposed to be his peak.
There's something that we were talking about. They were talking about the Ozil role kind of players. That role is fading out in football. I also believe that the SS role, the supporting striker role, is fading out in football because everybody wants to play a 4-4-2 with the two people as strikers, or a 4-2-3-1. You don't have that supporting striker. I can come to midfield, the Hurricanes, and not score goals, because I think that's the mode of Iheanacho. You see him in midfield, he's always creating chances, but in front of goals, he's not really that person that has all the firing, all the guns in his pack
he scores.
He scores. How many goals did they score? Few.
The problem, like his position, truthfully,
is dying out of football. Please.
He was the same position Rooney was playing, the SS position. Some players played.
The way to make Rooney own different, we say if he play for midfield as 10.
That's why his SS role. SS means he can be an attacker and be a midfielder in one package. Iheanacho can do it a little bit because part of when you play for Nigeria Spark Eagles, sometimes it's the creative spark and that team. But unfortunately for him, he did not. Since he left Manchester City, he went to Leicester. It did not really go well for him. But he's going to play for Celtic in Scotland. Hopefully, he's going to do well. If he does well, probably he can make the Super Eagles score for the World Cup if we qualify.
Now he and Cyril Dresser will have to compete for who is going to collect the Celtic and the Scottish Golden Boot.
If Dresser is making the Nigerian Super Eagles score, if he
Definitely.
plays well, he just need to just play well. Okay, but let's see. Hopefully, Iheanacho will perform very, very well in the Scottish League next season. Okay, let's talk about the Premier League a little bit. I'm going to talk about the whole transfer market generally. I'm going to give you the details of all the transfers all the clubs make, especially the big six made in England, and we'll probably talk about if there is a good buy and if it's enough for them to win the Premier League next season. But first, the Premier League broke the record of spending this summer. They spent they spent almost £3 billion in general. 3 billion pounds. I need to understand what that money is. The Premier League set a record of transfer this summer, and they spent $3 billion. Sorry, £3 billion in general. That's how much the Premier League spent this summer. So more money the Premier League. I understand why they are the best league in the whole world. But if you look at it, like for example, how much they spent for, like, Arsenal spent £267 million, just Arsenal, and only thing they sold only £10 million. So
so far this window, Arsenal spend money pass far.
If you talk about net spend for Arsenal,
Arsenal spend money pass.
Spend the most in this summer. They spent 257 million pounds in general, but Arsenal spent 267 million pounds. Liverpool spent 446 million pounds. Liverpool
big.
The third on the table is Manchester United. Manchester United spent 232 million pounds. Spurs spent 171 million pounds. Sunderland spent 183 million pounds. Sunderland spent.
It shock you.
I saw that one. I said, wow.
It doesn't shock you though.
It doesn't shock you, bro.
These people that came back from relegation, Premier League, even Spanish teams and Italians cannot even spend one quarter of this money they are spending here.
Wait, how much this United spend with the big three betis with the constant
So next on is Everton. Next one is Everton spent 124 million pounds. Leeds spent 103 million pounds.
Which is something
Nottingham Forest spent 182 million pounds. More people are spending money. Newcastle spent 256 million pounds. Manchester City spent 185 million pounds. West Ham spent 131 million pounds. Burnley
just
spent
in midfield.
Yeah,
Burnley midfield.
From Burnley down spent less. Okay, so they started spending less. Burnley spent about 97 million pounds. Fulham spent 35 million pounds. The list is Aston Villa. They spent only 28 million pounds.
They don't spend last season.
Yeah, Crystal Palace spent 50 million pounds. Chelsea spent 296 million pounds, and Wolves spent 105 million pounds. Brentford 92 million pounds. Brighton 67 million pounds. Bournemouth spent 136 million pounds. More money full everywhere. But the people that spent that got enough money in this transfer market on selling players this season are Chelsea, because Chelsea bought 296 million pounds, and they sold. They sold 314 million pounds. So they
made more money from even in net spend they did for plus.
Yeah, they made more money. I think they made more money in this transfer. They made about 17 million pounds in this transfer. If you look at their net spend, so Chelsea made money. So, but in general, the whole Premier League spent 3 billion pounds. That is a huge money, man.
I think the two teams that made the most net spend, that made profit from their net spend, was Chelsea and Bournemouth.
Chelsea.
Bournemouth sold many players.
Bournemouth made 65 million pounds. Brighton made 59 million pounds. Brentford made money too, 59 million pounds. If you look at their net spend, Wolves made more, 20 million pounds. Chelsea made 17. Crystal Palace made 17. Aston Villa made 15. Every other person are
minus.
Yeah.
Minus. So from spending, you're making profit. And Bournemouth and Chelsea, because I look at the Bournemouth side, and they sold quality players this season.
Yeah, they sold
Newcastle, where they say Newcastle spent, Newcastle saved 170 something million. Only one Isak now. Which other important person the Newcastle said? They sold, I think, Sean Longstaff left the club. So aside from these two players that made them money this summer, I don't think they had that credible sale. Liverpool also made sales this summer. The Diaz, the Nunes, and the goalkeeper. Keller. 3 players kind of brought them back. That was why they put Arsenal as the team with the most spent this summer, because Liverpool sold quality players. And Chelsea again, I keep saying it when I said it in the beginning of last season and earlier this in middle of this season, before the end of the season. before the World Cup. I said Chelsea has made in England. Chelsea has made the most from player sales. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, they sell just
I don't know how they keep
even though
They have a multi-club structure.
It's not the multi-club. It's not the multi-club
because
structure.
You will not tell me that.
Wait,
no, excuse
wait,
me.
Let me finish.
You will not tell me that Strasbourg have money to sign Kiwor.
Mm-hmm.
Strasbourg that are suffering in the French league.
Remove
have how many millions to sign Ben Chilwell?
You know what? And you want to talk that one.
And of all players that you will spend that money on to buy is Ben Chilwell.
Remove
but a multi-club structure.
Remove the 20 million spent on Ben Chilwell. They still have a plus. Where that plus come from? You remember I said they sell 50 million, 53 million, Madeke, to Arsenal. They sold Mount last season. So I mean, which time?
Let's focus on this season.
Now, this season, do you know how many players they sold so far?
Mm-hmm.
The Christopher Nkunku, the Jackson is leaving to Bayern Munich. The another players they sold around the Premier League. They sold about 4 players for above 50 million.
Okay, but let's see. We're going to go to the transfer one on one. But before that, I'll give you the highest transfer fee of players that move to the Premier League. Isak is obviously the highest. Newcastle from Newcastle to Liverpool for 125 million pounds. Florian Wirtz is the second highest transfer this summer. He went from Bayer Leverkusen to Liverpool for 116.5 million pounds.
Mm-hmm.
The third is Kitike.
Liverpool did stop
from Frankfurt to Liverpool for 79 million pounds. Sesko for Leipzig to Manchester United for 73.7 million pounds. Mbeumo moved from Brentford to Manchester United for 71 million pounds, and these are top 5 of transfers in this summer. So money went this particular summer. Very, very interesting summer. Of this summer. But let's see if all these players can work. Okay, let's move over to some of those transfers that happened. So we're going to start with Arsenal, the ins and outs. For Arsenal, this transfer, they brought in many players. They brought in Kepa from Chelsea for 5 million pounds. Zubimendi from Real Sociedad for 51 million pounds. Nosgard from Brentford for 15 million pounds. Moni Madueke from Chelsea for 52 million pounds. Christian came in from Valencia for 13 million pounds. Gyökeres from Sporting Lisbon for 63.5 million pounds. Eberechieze from Crystal Palace for 67.5 million pounds. And Piero hincapie is on loan, so that one will be concluded next season. For outgoing for Arsenal is Jorginho free transfer, Tierney free transfer, Nuno Tavares from Lazio for 4.3 million pounds. What is that guy's name again? Marquinhos. That they didn't even put transfer. Okay, they started listing all the players. Tomiyasu was released. Thomas Partey was released. Lokonga moved to Hamburg. Vieira on loan. Kiwor on loan to Porto. Zinchenko on loan to Nottingham Forest. Reece Nelson to Brentford on loan. If you make up these Arsenal's in and out, I think they balanced it. Arsenal spent more when it comes to net spend this thing. But do you think that they had a fantastic summer?
I think they had a fantastic summer for 2 key reasons. If you look at where Arsenal have always fallen short a couple of seasons now, is that Arsenal have always had the thinnest squad in the league. When you talk about teams in the Big 6, you have Arsenal struggling with 1 key player in each position and a few backup brigade that have been subpar. Then you also look at them trying to make up the numbers with youth, keying into that youth philosophy. But I think with this season they've had and coming into this new season, the reinforcements they've made have been fantastic. You look at Gyökeres up forward in the 9th position, it's obviously going to be Victor Gyökeres and Havertz and a possible Jesus in that position.
Back in training.
So you now have bodies in the 9th position. If you look out to the flanks, you have an Eberechieze alongside Martinelli and a possible Trossard on the left. You have credible replacement in terms of Madueke and Saka on the right with a possible Doman on that right. So you have depth in that position. If you come back to the 10th position, Odegaard and Nwaneri, look at other midfielders. You have bodies in those positions. And then if you go back to the defense, I think Arteta has overinvested in that defense over the last 3 years because he's brought in a couple of center halves, A lot of them have been played as fullbacks. He still doesn't have a traditional left fullback in that side or a traditional right fullback in that side, but he's made it work, and that's it. So right now, the Arsenal team is complete. I will not even hear any talk about we don't have an alternate winger. That one is looking for superstition right now. The team is complete because we've seen team with less caliber of players go on to win the title. So the team is complete, and the transfer market, the two let me say most important deals, or three most important deals this summer for Arsenal is the likes of Gyökeres, Eberechieze, and Zubimendi. Okay. The sad part now is that a key factor of that midfield is missing. Talking about Thomas Partey, because a Thomas Partey still around. Arsenal fans would have loved to have him around this season because he just brings a let me say an effortless solidity to that midfield.
Okay, Partey is left. Okay, and also Arsenal's transfer, if you look at it in general, the ins and outs, good transfer for them.
The problem I have is Fabio Vieira.
Why
is he leaving again? Last season was Porto, and if you look at Porto last season, he did exceptionally well. Why is he leaving again?
So
I had a problem with him because of his defensive mindset. He's an attacking midfielder who's supposed to attack, but he defends because of that, and he creates chances. Not because he defends and defends, he creates chances. Now you see him do well at Porto. Not that he went to Porto and flopped. He did well at Porto. You bring him back and you put him in the team.
Well, also when you want bench.
Calm down. Now we say they call squad depth. You're talking about players in each position. Now you're only calling two players in each position.
I call three in each position.
They only two. You cannot tell me Arsenal has three players in the very three.
Problem.
Now two.
Where you will play now is where Odegaard plays.
Now, that's the thing. You've already mentioned where Odegaard plays. Mm-hmm. Now, Odegaard is out.
One area is there.
One area is there. And you know for sure that Fabio Vieira can be able to bench one area.
Okay.
Now, Eze will come and play from the left. So
anybody can play now.
I'm just saying as well.
Since anybody can play. Now you went in to get Merino in January.
Last season.
You went in to get Merino in January. So you can also put this player in that position.
He will not play.
He will get game time. He will get his deal. I'm just saying. My own. I don't know. This guy just mentioned all the positives about Arsenal's transfer.
I'm telling you what it is. Like, if you ask me, I would not bring Vieira back.
Personal opinion. If you want to let him go, sell him off.
If you ask me, I will not bring him back.
Nobody wants to buy him.
I'm just saying last season was Porto, and he did exceptionally well. Sometimes you look at when players go out on loan, like I said for other teams, when players go out on loan,
where will he play?
And they do well in the midfield. You only have to You only have to be Mendy and who and Nogard.
Playing that
defensive midfield, bro. You have the Clares and Merino battling for sport. Yes. You have Odegaard and who battling for sport and one area. Or
yes. So where will
now play? If you have three players in one position, is it going to be a crime?
Wait now, it's not nice. No, it's not nice for a player to be on the squad and not even make match day squad until one player gets injured. And you
can still make match day squad.
And
bring a different option to the game.
It's not a different option. If you are bringing him to this side, he has had experience in Porto. He's currently having experience in Hamburg. He's not under 19. He's above 22. Do you understand me? Keeping this guy on the bench without promise of game time is counterproductive to the team. I would rather you recruited a young prospect that can willingly sit on that bench and come in and play that beat by role you want him to play.
You know the funniest part? If everybody's injured, so most of these first teams that Arsenal will not even make match day score. So it's going to be very, very interesting. But let's say Arsenal have made their own transfers and also has a problem with Vieira, but I don't think it's a problem for Arsenal fans.
Good signing altogether. But I just feel like he should have stayed back.
The problem if he has stayed back, he will not even make match day score.
That's what you think. Some other player, you have
the person I would have filed a campaign to stay back is Nelson. For me, it's Partey and Nelson. Because that Nelson can add on because when you have somebody like Martinelli that
wing choke now. Nelson cannot play. He choke.
Bro,
Martinelli,
you feel take your career on top Martinelli.
This guy is always injured too, so he cannot
Godwin.
So that's
when I looked at all these options, Partey they wanted to escape the hassle of the case. You get PR from the case, and I looked at everybody that went on loan last season for Arsenal. Why I ruled Nelson out is because all the games he played, he was injured most of the games, and the ones he played at, he didn't deliver the 98% that if you deliver 98% for that club, you know, okay, fine, you can play for Arsenal. But he didn't deliver up to 98%, which that's why I said he's not, for me, he's not the person. But Fabio delivered more than 75%.
The problem with Fabio is that when you come, you will not make match day squad.
That is just match day squad.
No, who do you remove? But tell me one player you remove.
I'm not going to sit here and tell you remove
that's the problem.
I'm still going to tell you when you want to make substitutions.
What I'm making, who will you remove from match day squad from your
bench? You're not removing anybody from match day squad now.
Did you see the Arsenal match day squad last season? Even Havertz wasn't there. Jesus wasn't there because they were injured.
Everywhere choke.
What's his name again? Players wasn't there. Knockout was injured. He's not there. And all the players that start on the only academic player that start on that bench is Doman. Every other person is first team footballer, and you have 3 more players.
You can still add to first team.
That's what I'm saying now. Imagine you have 3 more players that's going to add the first team squad. Then some of them that made match day squad in last week will be dropped out of match day squad for that because Havertz must be on match day squad, whether I like it or because it's his son, it's Ateta's son. Do you understand? So where will Vieira play? Nobody who would you drop and put
some
Vieira?
Games you carry him along in case of emergency.
That's the problem. It's unfair for a player for you to be with I'm just saying.
I'm picking. Normally, Nami go still come this show. Talk to the guy no good reach. But now since I've seen what he can do out on loan, I feel like he should come back, or rather than you send him out on loan and him having hope of coming back to the Arsenal team.
If he was in Ateta's plan, they would not have signed Morgan.
The problem is that he cannot make Arsenal school. They have to sell him, but nobody is coming, so they set on loan. So moving away from Arsenal to Chelsea, Chelsea brought in Gittins from Borussia Dortmund for 51 million pounds. Joao Pedro from Brighton for 60 million pounds. Delap from Ipswich for 30 million pounds. Heto from Ajax for 38.5 million pounds. Gustavo from Palmeiras for 29 million pounds. Esugo from Sporting Lisbon for 18.5 million pounds. Sa from Strasbourg for 12 million pounds. I don't even know where that one is. That one
he don't go back.
He don't go back to Strasbourg. Kendry for 17.3 million pounds. That's the small boy they bought here to fill in. Then they brought in Garnacho from Manchester United for 40 million pounds. They brought in last person on loan from Brighton. Buonanotte on loan. That one came in on loan. For outgoing for Chelsea made a good transfer. Let's see if they are going to do it. For outgoing for Chelsea, Petrovic to Bournemouth for 25 million pounds. Giving you the big boss. Kepa to Arsenal for 5 million pounds. Not Madueke left Chelsea to 52 million pounds. Joao Felix to Al Nassr for 43.7 million pounds. Jusby Hall to Everton to 29 million pounds. They send Barca on loan. After bringing him, they send him back on loan. Ugochukwu to Burnley, for 23 million pounds. Boyas to Burnley to 20 million pounds. Viega to Villarreal for 26 million pounds. Kanechukwu Emeka to Borussia Dortmund for 24 million pounds. Aaron to Borussia Dortmund on loan. Nkunku to AC Milan for 36 million pounds. Almost Chelsea sold players this season. Nicola Jackson to Birmingham on loan, but they have an obligation to buy. So Bayern Munich will buy Jackson next year, whether they like it or not. Ben Chilwell Farley to Strasbourg undisclosed. So I think Chelsea, if you look at the transfer, I think they bought well and they sold well, apart from Sterling that they could not sell, and the Sassy, that's the 2 players they could not sell that is still in the club. I think they did well in the transfer market.
Yeah, if you look at outgoings, they've done phenomenal outgoings, because I think we are seeing Chelsea show us the end product of the crazy signings they made when Todd Bowley came in initially. Because in Todd Bowley's first season, it was just signing anybody that can play football, that they say this guy can play or this guy can score. But we've seen the outcome that from those signings they made, they've recovered close to 300 million or so from outgoings this summer. It's paid off. A lot of those guys have been moved on. Just a few of them out on loan. Those guys are going to be positives to the bottom line come next season, because I'm sure most of them will not be around Chelsea for much longer. But if you talk about incomings, the incomings I'm happy about. I'm happy about the Joao Pedro move. It's paid off. The Liam Delap in that 9 position paying off. And then when you look at the Garnacho for the flank, I like that move as well, because they are getting a good player in that position.
I'm sure that Garnacho will score a hat-trick against Manchester United.
It's surely that.
That I'm sure that
And we celebrate just like Adebayo did against
you see, anti-Man U fans, they put this studio. Anti-Man U fans, they are hate. Man United is one of the most hated clubs in the world right now.
It will be fun. It will be fun.
But let's
trust me, we celebrate his first goal.
Let's be clear on one thing. Jamie Gittins, I'm not calling name, is a flop waiting to happen.
Come on, he never played too much now.
Calm down. I'm just now my opinion now.
No, so
Jamie Gittins is a flop waiting to happen.
Okay. Oh.
How can you say that?
Calm down. Let me finish. Then you see that Garnacho. I just feel like they cheat Man United for that price. You said it's not Madeke. This is not Madeke for 50 something million, 52 million pounds, 54 million euros. Now you say no Madeke. And you cannot pay 50 million for Garnacho. And John is always here talking about look at the stats now, look at the stats. Garnacho had a better.
It's about negotiation.
It's not even about negotiation. This should be a lesson to be learned for Manchester United.
It doesn't mean
if you want to sell your players and get good value for money, stop throwing them under the bus in the media.
See,
because if
nobody threw Garnacho under the bus in the media.
They did.
The manager
because
said, find a club before the summer ends. Your time is up.
Excuse me, no, I'm not going to stand for that because we all saw the protracted drama last season over the benching of him in that finals, over what an emotional under 22 we say in the media. And the manager came out to throw him under the bus that he should find another club. Bro, he's found another club in the Premier League and you're just going to have to deal with it. But for Manchester United, the lesson to the wise, or if they want to be wise, is if you want to get good value for money, never throw your players under the bus in the media, because whoever is going to come to buy will know that you actually want this guy off your books and your negotiating power or your leverage in that negotiation will be low. Look at Chelsea. For all the talk about wanting Raheem Sterling off their books, for all the talk about the Sassi and Co, none of these guys have the manager come out to the press to say this guy is lazy, this guy is not moving around, this guy is not helping the team. Quietly, all these guys are on their way out. Even Sterling that is still available is sufferable, because you've recovered 300 and something million of player sales. You can endure this guy for 6 months and he'll be out on loan and you are moving on. So Manchester United need to go back and learn that lesson. Otherwise, they will keep on saying, and guess what? Manchester United will still come back next season or next 2 seasons and overpay for another Chelsea product. The cycle continues.
They are not overpaying for anything.
They will again.
That business with Chelsea is over.
Don't worry.
It's done. But also I did not 2 pointers I get. I said Man United was cheated to sell, or was cheated on to sell Garnacho for that price. And Gittins is a flop waiting to happen. The rest, Unadu well.
Okay, let's see. Chelsea is a part of the, in quote, they are part of the team that we expect them to challenge for the Premier League. If you look at the kind of players they bought, they are a stock team like us now. They have enough in that. With every position has about 2 players on that position, start in that position. Now they brought in 2 wingers, and the final day of the transfer, Garnacho is there, and the other guy on loan is there. So Chelsea are ready for the Premier League. They have 7 points on the table. They are second on the table behind Liverpool, but let's see. Yeah, and they're still unbeaten. But let's see how long Maresca can take these guys if they are going to challenge. I'm looking forward to see Chelsea. I'm looking forward to see Chelsea in the Champions League. I've missed them in the Champions League because whenever they play the Champions League, they bring in this flair for, I don't understand. I can't explain it, but they
always represent.
It's no longer long anymore. It's just few days, weeks.
I can't wait.
We'll know whether if the wine is still better with age or it has dropped in value.
Whenever they play the Champions League, Chelsea, they represent and they really go far in the Champions League. But let's see if Maresca can take them far after winning the Conference League with them. For Liverpool in this transfer market, Liverpool spent money in this transfer market. They brought in Kekes from Bournemouth for £40 million, Fulham from Bayer Leverkusen for £116 million, Frimpong from Bayer Leverkusen for £29.5 million. Mama, that's Billy.
That's summer. Last year they make that business.
That one that they bought in last weekend, but they concluded this year for £29 million. Ekitike from Frankfurt for £79 million. They bought in a guy from Parma, Giovanni Lieni, for £26 million. That boy is a young boy, but the centre back, and they bought it for £26 million. But finally, they broke the British record for Isak for £120 25 million pounds. Good ins from players that Liverpool bought for out. The Nunes moved to Al Hilal for 56.6 million pounds. Okay, Arnold for 10 million pounds. He was supposed to be free, but they needed him before the club walk off, so they had to pay money for 10 million pounds. Kelleher to Brentford for 18 million pounds. Kwanzaa to Bayer Leverkusen for 35 million pounds. Diaz to Bayern Munich for 65 million pounds. Next, Philip to West Brom for 3 million pounds, and others are young players they sent out on loan. Okay, finally they sent Harvey Elliott on loan, but that is going to be probably an obligation to buy next season. So if you look at the deals for Liverpool, I think they made good deals, but I think that they are still short in that wings, especially from that left side. Only Gakpo is there. They probably have to probably convert either Ekitike to go and play there or not. But if you look at January for Liverpool, I think they made a good deal this season.
Yeah, they made a good deal, but I'll say that the final piece of the puzzle fell through in the dying minutes, talking about McGahey, because I know that they really wanted him. Everything had been done. It's just that unfortunately for them, West Ham decided to go and spoil somebody's plan.
Because we are big.
Because we are not big.
Because we are big. When we are big, see, when you are big, you are big. Aston Villa, what's it called? Crystal Palace offered more money.
The only lure in that deal is that he will stay in London. That's all.
Liverpool, I think what they are ready to defend their Premier League title.
Where I had a problem with this Liverpool signing was when they went in. I think they didn't get another right back. After Frimpong, they should have gotten another right back because.
But they have Conor Cody.
He's always injured, but he's a good player whenever he plays.
Conor Bradley is a good player. He's
Conor
injured.
Bradley.
Currently, he's not fit for the team. And the last game, I think Frimpong was out again, which means that's why you keep seeing the last two games. You keep seeing this my man attacking midfielder. We get 2 goals and I see where they competing. Liverpool fans they compare with Bruno Fernandes and KDB. Una go mind on herself. Those like now playing as right back. For the side, because the two fullbacks they got this season are out injured, or perhaps the one fullback they got this season is out injured, and the other one that's supposed to be there full time is out injured. So I feel like outside this, at least let a Tyler Morton stay.
Yeah.
Instead of selling him for 50 million, let him stay. Kwanzaa has left, so right now the only right back they have that can play right back. It's not that they're sure that he's right back.
So what of Joe Gomez?
Joe Gomez can play right back too. He plays sometimes for club.
Now I talk now. I said that can play right back. I never finished the segment. You're calling name. The only player they have that can play right back, but is a CB, is Joe Gomez. Currently at the club right now, the only person that can play anywhere along the back four is Joe Gomez. But he's mostly on the bench because Anslot said, if you look at the last game he played, Anslot didn't really trust him that much. In the first game against Bournemouth, Anslot tried Endo Wataru in the right back position, and that was all thanks to him. They considered us 2 goals. Against Crystal Palace or this past in the second game, it was close to like that. Now I just feel like going forward, Liverpool should at least look for in the academy graduate, look for a right back that is going to stay fit most of the season, not half of the season you're out, because we cannot keep experimenting an attacking midfielder in fullback positions.
Okay, let's see. Liverpool made one of the biggest transfers in this particular transfer, especially signing Isak. Signing Isak was a huge thing for them. They bought Isak for 125 million pounds. That's a huge money to spend on a player. Hopefully, he's going to return goals to Liverpool. He's a good striker, obviously, one of the best strikers. Him and Haaland and Breme actually are one of the best strikers in the Premier League last season, and he has moved. He has moved to Liverpool. So after the international break, we are going to see him. We are going to see him perform, and he goes to wear that number 9 jersey for Liverpool, and hopefully he will score goals. For Manchester City, they brought in Tijani Reinders from AC Milan for 46.3 million pounds. And Nuri from Wolves for 36 million pounds. They bought in Marcus Martinelli from Chelsea. That one is top goalkeeper. Cheki from Lyon for 34 million pounds. Nipans from Rosenborg. I don't know when they bought this one. Youth boy for 12 million pounds. Trafford from Burnley for 31 million pounds. Then finally Donnarumma for 26 million pounds from PSG. So another 2 goalkeepers for 2 new goalkeepers for the coach Pep. Okay, outgoing they released Kevin De Bruyne and he went for Napoli. Henderson have left for Fenerbahce for 12 million pounds. Akanji on loan to Inter Milan, so that one had left on loan. they released Scott Carson after how many years he has been there collecting medals everywhere.
Collecting medals.
One match.
A
You know,
great
guy-
man.
that guy
That
they
guy is a good luck charm.
That guy, they collect medals since how many years? They even won the Champions League twice. He won with Liverpool when Liverpool won. So he has been around for a very, very long time. So Kai Walker to Burnley for £5 million. Greenish on loan. Market for Nottingham Forest for £30 million. These are the players they let go. But generally, normally it was Manchester City that used to buy big players. But I think they spent outrageously, even though they spent in January. That's why they didn't spend much in this summer. But good transfer for Manchester City too.
For me,
Chevere to
That one went on loan, yeah.
on loan, yes.
that one pained me, sha, but it's sweet.
The loan move that I really didn't like is Victor Reis, because having lost Akonji now and Josko out injured, we need cover in that position. But for me, I am happy with the transfer market. I would have wanted the right back in, because I have still carried this placard and I'm still carrying it. Nunes, please go to your position or leave my club. Bring in a proper Livramento.
You know, be manager now.
Pay 70 million, get Livramento in, and we'll know peace in the right back position, because it's going to be Rico Lewis and Livramento in that position. But for right now,
Rico Lewis and
Nunes in the right back position. So in the goalkeeping position, I'm happy with what we have. We recovered a talent, James Trafford. He's had a good start to the Premier League. You know, everybody will still make their mistake as a goalkeeper starting, but he's had a good start. In another way, I would have been sad that Donnarumma is coming in, but I'm happy because some of those unnecessary rookie mistakes, we don't need it right now when we are chasing the title.
Okay, and so, the third goalkeeper is going to be this guy.
Bettinelli now.
Yeah, but they still have one person on that. Who was your second goalkeeper last season? Ortega is still at the club, so unfortunately for him, he had to probably sit out match day squad until probably January. But not to January, Manchester City, even though this is the worst start for Pep Guardiola with 3 points.
As he signed everything, finished it, happen for Premier League. Signed the whole world and see Henebe Kanebe. In January, you signed, you say you're not scoring goals. Kevin De Bruyne was out injured and all of you. Signed all the midfielders available, Nico Gonzalez and the rest of them in January, and you still finished third on the table. You still didn't win the league, and you still went trophyless. Season never start as window never open. You enter market, you buy all the midfielders very important for market. All the important midfielders, they go buy everything. Ryan Cheki, Tijani, all of them. You buy all of them, finish. What happen? You go World Cup. So after all this now, Premier League don't start. You don't baraka again. First match you win, everybody was like hyping. You lose second and third against Tottenham Hotspur, and against who you lose the last one, Brighton,
yeah.
From a winning position. If now another team now do that thing from winning position,
but good summer for them. I think it's still a good summer.
No, man, it's a good summer. I still feel
in your opinion, it's a good
for
summer.
Me, it's a good summer signing.
I'm just saying.
Signings fantastic. This one now bad belly, forget that one.
Wait, see, understand now. Wait, let me finish.
I need another 9 as backup. Yes.
What shall it profit a man?
Bro,
what shall it profit a man?
We are not the same, man.
To sign
we are not
any lady no one.
Mamouche is there.
And still carry third on the table because
waiting in productivity this season, man.
We will still finish.
We are still starting.
Waiting in productivity.
But generally,
you will still finish third again.
Productivity,
so let me finish what I was saying before. Like I said before, if everybody say they have a good summer, because everybody in the Man City starting lineup now still needs at least 8 weeks to bed to understand what the Premier League is like. So I will still give them the grace of that 8 weeks, and they should continue losing their matches for the next 8 weeks. But if individually, those players are brilliant signing individually. But when it comes to the Premier League and this team, we just finished game week 3. We'll see again week 8. Then game week 9, we'll start judging them.
Okay, let's see. I think Manchester City did a great transfer this summer. For Manchester United, and they brought in a couple of players. Mbeumo from Brentford for £71 million. Cunha from Wolves for £62.5 million. Lyon for £7 million.
From last summer.
Zesco for £73.7 million. And finally, the Lemans, the new goalkeeper, for £18.2 million. They just brought in a couple of players, just 5 players for Manchester United, even though they spent those 5 players are costly. But especially for the goalkeeper, I'm going to be interesting. who is going to play, because now they have layman in that team, they have Onana, and they have what's that guy's name?
Bayern.
3 goalkeepers, first team goalkeepers.
They have 4. The old man.
Leave that one now.
Tom Hitton.
Now they even
Tom Hitton.
They have 3 goalkeepers, and so I'm going to see what after the international break who is going to drop. But if I ask you, I think who is going to drop is Onana. That's what my whole feeling. That's who is going to drop. Onana out of the match day score. Then probably Lamens and Bayern will fight it out, but we will see. For outgoings from Manchester United, they released Eriksen and he's without a club as I'm speaking to you. For Garnacho to Chelsea for £40 million. They released Evans. They released Lindelof, Rashford on loan. They released Rashford left on loan. Hoejlund on Napoli on loan with an obligation to buy. Toby Coyler on loan. Antony to Real Betis for £21.7 million. Hamas went on loan, and Sancho left on loan. If you look at they released a lot of players, and they sold a lot of players, but they brought in a couple of players too. But generally, I think it's a good transfer market for Manchester United.
The positives here is more on the outgoing than incoming, because a lot of those guys that they've been fighting and tearing their hair out to get out of the club are finally out of the club. A couple of them are still in loan clauses. We have the Rashford deal, we have the Sancho deal, but every other person is out and for good. You get. So if you look at the squad they have now, I feel like there's still a hole in that midfield. That's the only piece of the puzzle they've not yet looked at. Getting a holding midfielder that can progress the ball forward and help the team in generally. Because if you watch Manchester United play, when they are attacking, bro, it's only 3 guys in that midfield. It's the 2 center half and the 1 sitting guy in that position. Those are the only people you have in that midfield when they are pressing. So when you have pacey forwards on the other side doing a long ball counter, they are susceptible to attack in that position. So and then secondly, when you have people who play a low block, without that midfielder that can progress the ball forward, it's also hard for them to break down and put balls into the channel. So I think Amorim is not daft, he's smart. He should be able to sort that outcome next summer.
I think
yes.
it takes
next
time.
Summer.
You buy defenders, you buy attack, you keep buying until they fit them. But generally, a good summer for Manchester United.
Good summer for outgoings. We talk about outgoings.
Yeah, they
incoming Nkunku, I don't understand.
Oh
wow.
They've scored only 1 goal from open. I think they've scored only 2 goals. It's not 1 goal now.
1 goal.
1 goal from open play.
Yes.
Because the last one they scored against Fulham. Wait.
The
last one they scored against Fulham was corner. Lenny Euro. If you like call her own goal, don't concern you. Lenny Euro. Now set piece, corner kick. Mm-hmm. This one too. I think the goal they scored against one of the goals they scored against.
It's only Mbuemo's goal that is from
was own goal. Out of pressure, the guy do own goal. The one against Burnley. Then Mbuemo open play. These are the 3 goals Man United have scored this season. The next one is penalty. The 4 goals Man United have scored this season. Penalty, own goal, set piece. These are the 3 goals they've scored, and 1 goal from open play so far. So and as it is still baying in their own end, I think they should try and fix it in midfield. Because Amorim, I keep going back to the substitutions Amorim make during the game. Sometimes those substitutions kill the game.
Okay, let's see Manchester United both players, and let's see if these players will perform for him, because they actually need them to start performing. If not, it's going to be in a big problem. But hopefully, they are going to do well. Okay, quickly, let me talk. Tottenham bought players. So Tottenham bought in Danso, even though he came on loan from Lens, yes, but they completed that this summer for £20.9 million. They bought in Luka for £9.5 million. Martitels was on loan, then they concluded that deal for Bayern Munich for £29.9 million. They bought in Kota for the young player. They bought in Kudus from West Ham for £55 million. Paulinha on loan. Xavi Simeon for £51 million. Yeah, Son left for £20 million. These players, but generally good summer for Spurs. They brought in quality players this summer.
You forgot the loan deal for what's his name now? Is it Kolo muani or?
Yes, Kolo
muani. He's back now.
They brought in Kolo muani finally on loan. I think if you look at quality players, they brought in Spurs, brought in quality players this summer.
Yeah, I'm happy with the deal for Xavi Simons, big one. Since the man himself, the Danish Ozil left, there's been that missing role in the team. Xavi Simons hopefully can come in there and become that magician for them. And then you also look at the addition of what's his name now? Randall Kolomani up front, good addition. Going to pair with Solanke and what's his name as well, Matistel in that position.
Just one thing.
Yes.
Diogo Reguilón. Why is he being released?
Is it Sergio Reguilón?
Sergio Reguilón. Why is he being released?
He has been released.
They don't have a left back. If you look at
he's been injury prone now.
Apart from that, even when he was there, I don't know what happened. He's a good player, but they normally
the only person that tried him was Murillo.
They don't trust him.
Was Murillo.
But
why is he being released? That's my only question. I'll leave that to the air to answer.
Yeah, they don't want him, so they release him. Let me just add him finally for West Ham because
we are big. We are big.
Jara.
When you are big, you are big. You put us there.
Before I start taking calls, then let me just add West Ham for Jara for Nonso because they have finished the top guys. Todibo for Nice for 35 million pounds.
After a low sale.
Dior for 19 million pounds. Daniel Cunning from Celtic. Kai Water-Peters for Southampton for free.
Nice.
Carlin Wilson for Newcastle from free.
That was the pay, Misha.
Okay. Hermanson from Leicester City. Hermanson for Leicester City for 18 million pounds. Fernandez for Southampton for 42 million pounds. And Magasa for Monaco for 17.3 million pounds. And finally, they brought in the man that made Liverpool not to sign Igor Julius from Brighton on loan. I think generally West Ham did a good business. The outgoings, Kudus left.
Two signings that I still have a problem with. Hermanson was behind the sticks. Though he went on injury towards the late hours of last season for Leicester City last year. And this season, you've seen the errors he made. In last game against, he made a couple of saves and he kept a clean sheet. Good one for him against Nottingham Forest. But why would you go for a Kolo Wilson when there are other young prospects in the market?
Because
we are scoring goals. Scored 3 goals against Nottingham Forest. Who is Nottingham Forest?
First, I start taking calls. Finally on our YouTube channel. Remember, guys, we are live on YouTube and Full FM Sports. And truth is saying, Saudi no even come for Ehana. Yes, Saudi did not come. Ade say hi Godwin deadline signing for Isak went to Liverpool on deadline day and Wisha to Newcastle for the deadline game. Yes. Okay, Jacob, bigger boy, say good morning, Vote FM. No, so how are you doing this season? No Premier League team will complain that we lack strikers or any playing position at all because I believe everybody signed players.
Shots fired.
I lack a quality left back.
But okay, they signed the players of their choice from any position. They are complaining last season. I am saying this because Manchester United fans, they are good in complaining, even though injuries might come. As of now, nobody has given any excuse. Okay, JC Bellingham, welcome to the show. He's saying, please, where is Malaysia? They are back for he's still there, Manchester United. They Manchester United. It's okay. It is Chile call up Siri Dresser. Yes, he's called up Siri Dresser. He's going to play for Nigerian Super Eagles. He said, okay, after saying I can't wait to play Manchester United, he can't go on injury. He's supposed to wait for he will go wait after the Manchester derby. He can go. I don't even know the player you're talking about.
Check it. Okay. Check it. He said he wants to revenge Leon for the Europa League. Okay. Now he go injury.
Okay, let's take phone calls and get your contribution. The number to call is 0706-048-5853. Yeah, hello, good morning. Good morning. Name and location, please. Okay.
Good morning, Bishop.
Yeah. Okay. They had the best transfer. Okay. You go ahead.
Or FA Cup.
Okay. Again, yeah. Okay. All right. All right. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, let's see. Okay,
We are looking at a 4 in a row in this Liverpool
it's,
side.
It's Liverpool sleep.
Ebelebe.
We are looking at a 4 in a row in this Liverpool side.
Yeah,
Ebelebe.
hello, good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good
Name
morning.
location, please. Okay, Pedro, shoot.
Pedro, easy to hijack person deal. Easy to hijack person deal.
Na loan you hijack, no be transfer.
If you beat Nottingham, if you beat Nottingham Forest 3-0, we go come talk this conversation.
Mm. Okay. Mm. Okay. All right. Thank
Oh wow. By finishing 5th.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, let's see. Everybody's giving it to Liverpool and Aston. That means both of them did good in this transfer market. Nobody's counting. Okay, but let's
Nobody's counting Man City.
Okay.
You get why?
Yeah, hello, good morning.
We don't talk too much.
Good morning. Name and location, please. Okay, your contribution, please. Barcelona bought Rashford on loan.
Rashford, Rooney.
They bought a guy called Rooney from bought a goalkeeper too.
Yeah,
They bought
Joan Garcia.
Joan Garcia. I think that's the 3 players they allowed. They brought in this
They've
summer.
registered so
They
far.
registered so far in their club. Who is that? No, I think they went for Kolo muani in the final day of transfer. Yes, Kolo muani, yeah, on loan, yes. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Okay, there might be the dark horse in this particular. You know, every season we have.
This guy sounds like a Tottenham fan.
Yeah, which Tottenham fan for Nigeria?
I wait till they ask until you ask them, they will tell you.
But it's true.
It sounds like because
I think he's a Barcelona fan. That's what probably he wanted.
He's a Tottenham fan. Now
It's
back
not
at
a
the
Tottenham
back at the
fan.
back up.
Hello, good morning. Name and location, please. Okay, your contribution. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, correct. I think so. They need to start building around your correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you.
I think they will adjust.
Okay, I think they will adjust. Okay, finally, I'll give you the top 5 spending in this summer transfer. One is spent by European top 5 leagues. Premier League spent 3.7 billion euros for euros.
3.1 billion pounds.
It's about 3.1 billion pounds. But generally, if in euros, they spend 3.7 billion euros. The second is the Serie A. Serie A spent 1 billion euros. Then the third is the Bundesliga. The Bundesliga spent 600 and in this money they spend money. Bundesliga spent only 648 million euros.
They make more now.
Then the La Liga spent 575 million euros, and finally Ligue 1 spent only 547 million euros. Imagine the gap between them and the Premier League.
Financial spending
The
power.
only thing they even tried, I would say they are not spending money. No, they there, money no they there. Let's still spend money.
They spend small money, 1 billion.
Money no they say money, but they still spend money. 1.02
everybody else spent like over
a
500 million.
range of millions.
500
They
million.
are poor men.
So the Premier League is the biggest league.
Now Real Madrid they call poor men.
The Premier League is the
You might do
biggest.
they find free things.
The Premier League is the biggest league in the whole world. That's why they are league biggest team. You could see why spending 3 billion is not a small thing. But let's see, the Premier League is going to give us. I think we are going to have one of the best Premier
Please
League.
let the
Yes,
Champions
so-
League come to Premier League
Yes,
this season.
let's see if they are going to
Because-
have the best Premier League season. I think we are going to have the best Premier League team because the players they bought everywhere, everybody bought. Nobody is going to complain. Everybody bought players.
Okay.
Everybody bought players. But let's see how it's
Uh.
going to end come end of 2025-2026 season. I'll see you guys tomorrow. From tomorrow is international break and Nigerian Super Eagles need to win 2 games. So we are going to be analyzing players arriving in camp. So other teams playing around Europe, Africa, South America. We'll start talking about international break from tomorrow. My name is Godwin and have a wonderful day.
It's 104.3
I have a problem with the Premier League
Where
spending
music
more.
meets
Where I have a problem is let them win Champions League.
Benedict, welcome
And I
to the
win
show.
na by mouth.
Benedict, welcome to the show. I can see your comments saying City only needs 2 Mbappes, 3 Yamal, 2
Yeah.
Buffon, another 2 pair for
Leave am for me. Na your money. Na your money.
Never start. Rush market, enter, get no result.
Na your money. Na your money.
My guy, that one pay now.
Na your money.
Anytime you hear that your money, it doesn't matter. You only say you pay now.
Okay, Jacob Bigger
No be your
Boy.
money now.
Jacob
Come
Bigger
on.
Boy is saying, Godwin, you are right because Garnacho nearly finished Chelsea last season. So I think you will do the same to Manchester United
Yeah.
this season. Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Now
going to
nearly now. He will nearly
Sharp,
finish.
sharp. You go finish
He will
there.
nearly finish
You go
Manchester
stop me. You
United.
never know how far.
that much they go start am.
I pray they meet in FA Cup as well.
Thank you guys.
Nearly.
I'll see you guys
May you
tomorrow.
remove Man U.
Nearly.
After I don't